Hey everybody, I have returned. It's around 9:30. The temperature is right now 78, but it was about 95 earlier. Humidity 75%. I'm going to forewarn you, this might be the most uninspired video I've ever made because I haven't really done a lot. Or let me rephrase that. I've done a lot, but I've just done a lot over and over again. The same thing for the past 2 weeks. Let's go do the usual. Airworthy target date is still 2094. That's looking good. I feel confident about that. Unfortunately, the list hasn't changed since our last meeting. No 4360s, no J47s, no airport, no factory, no hangar, no money. And once again, this is not a restoration. All right. Where are we at? Blah, blah, blah. Just looked at my last video. I had this longeron up. Of course, the old stringers. But I have made, that's a longeron because it continues back there. And the reason it tapers is because up under here, right there, there's going to be a slit on bulkhead 3.0. So elongated oval, I guess you'd call it. And then there's going to be the big pulleys which transfer the cables from the control column over, back this way, and then down. There's going to be one there. There's going to be one over there. And so this is tapered in to allow that to give it more room. So let's do our math here. I've made, let's count the longerons as a stringer. It's just a component. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I just made that today. So there's 10. So there's 20, plus the existing ones up there. And if you include the longerons, there's 37 of the dang things. And with very little exception, which is just down here, these attached with these flanges, these, all that crap, and all that down there, they all attach with a stiffener, as you can see. And each stiffener has, I think 5 rivets back here and 7 rivets up there. So, shoom. For those who haven't been paying attention or are new to the channel, I've been working on this part for, which includes completely rebuilding bulkhead 3.0 and building bulkhead 3.1 and all this stuff, plus modifying the canopy to hook to the longerons and continue back for over 2 months now. So it's taken me 2 months to build 24 inches, roughly 1/2 of 24 inches of the complete B-36 fuselage. Like I said in previous videos, that it would have to be about that tall in order for me to do 1/2 of the 12'6" fuselage. So with that said, of course, it's more complex down there with the floor I'd have to build and everything. So figure 4 months to build 24 inches of B-36 fuselage. And if she's 167 feet, I did the math, and it's like, I think it's like 13.5 years, you know, if I had a constant flow of supplies, a constant flow of data, a constant flow of money. It would take me 13.5 years just to build the entire fuselage. The wings are far more complicated. So, you know, just me working by myself with a constant flow of everything I need, the space, the cranes, I mean, 30, 40 years. I don't know how I'd build the tires. We'd find a way. So we've got the shock mounts up there. You can see how they attach to the flight engineer main panel. They tighten up. There's a little riveted in swivel there. and that rod just tightens up and pulls this thing in here. I didn't want to tighten it anymore. It's just there for looks. Plus these bolts on the bottom are off, but that's how that's held on there. And of course, those rods up front, they can move up and down. And there's your shock mounts on the bottom, so that allowed that panel to move up and down. All of the panels that have sensitive or fragile gauges, they have shock mounts. Like this guy over here, shock mounts. And then this panel here, shock mounts to the canopy. Over there, because he doesn't have any instruments, he doesn't have any shock mounts. I need to, I can't think of the word joggle. I'm gonna have to build a little die to joggle this, and all these, because these here are flush with the bulkhead. And this, I recessed this intentionally so I could put this plate where there'd be the middle, that'd be the seam line between the two skin panels. So you got the 4 staggered here, or the 2 staggered here and the 2 staggered here. And then down here on the bottom, the same thing. So there's one plate that would run from here to there, and it would be the same 2, 2, 2, 2 with the line right down the middle, and the same here. So this would be one square-ish plate, one down there, and then a big one that goes from here all the way over to the side, parallel with this one. If you see some B-36 pictures of where they're on the assembly line in the early phases of when they're putting the canopy on, you'll understand that because these longerons run the entire, actually run here all the way down to right here. Those are the main, they're called shear beams, and that makes up the side of the flight deck or the cockpit. But it's actually, it's how it's like an L. And then there's going to be more formers that go right here. They were on there before I revised the canopy, but they're going to be a lot better the next time. I'm going to continue this down here and do this right. There'll be a former here and then more stringers here. But some cool pictures of the B-36 being put together. This is covered, this is a magnesium panel and that's aluminum. But they have this, there's aluminum and this is mag, and then they'll have this exposed where there'll be guys working on the canopy and stuff, probably working on those wires, but it's cool. Over here, I've got my dude off of the YB-36's ass compartment. There's a B-36 fire axe for cutting through the fuselage in case there's a crash. As you can see, all these strengtheners are up and all the rivets in the right place. Because I've got the strengtheners up for the stringers, stiffeners, I can now get in here and put these rivets all down, around, all the way around. Blah, 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 blah. Just found out from Alan at the SAC Museum. Thank you so much for helping me yesterday. He got up here and determined that there are no stiffeners on this side. They both, these stringers and these stiffeners will rivet to this bulkhead. So beyond this, it's got formers that run the entire, they start at these longerons and they hoop to the longeron back and forth. And that's what makes the top of the radio. And those continue well into the bomb bay, all the way to the wing spar. I have to rebuild this. That's in too far. This should come out sharper. No biggie. Continue. This is the shear wall or the shear beam. But I just realized that these were on here yesterday. These are like a junction area for cannon plugs. They've got like a socket. There's like 4 or 5 of them, various sizes. And they got sockets that are screwed in there. So you can put your cannon on this side and your cannon on the other side. So there's one here, and then parallel to it is this one here. These were actually, this aluminum I used for these was the initial prototypes for the control column shafts. I bent them back out and put them on the English wheel, and pretty dang nice, if not perfect. Speaking of aluminum, that nice big sheet was provided to me a couple weeks ago. That's all that's left of it. Not much. But I just have, on either side, I've got these stringers to make, these stiffeners here. So I got 4 more stiffeners to make to attach 2 more stringers, and the silly thing is done. It would be nice to get some aluminum to put the top, and I'm going to use as close to real aircraft aluminum as I can. It's the 60, I think it is, something like that. One thing I've been paying attention to is about right there on the B-36. There's a doohickey, and what it is, it bolts on here, and it's got a swivel on it. That looks kind of weird, but it's got a swivel on it. And that swivel, there's one here, and there's an identical one over there. There's a 94-inch piece of 2-inch outside diameter pipe that runs from there all the way across over to there, and it swivels. And the reason that's there is because this right here, well, is the part off the bunk from one of the bunks from the YB-36. It attaches up there. That's the exact size it needs to be, and it allows it to go up and down for stowage. But that'll create a bunk up there, about that high. Not much room, but just enough room for somebody to crawl up into there and sleep. And like I said, it goes up and down like that, and then it hangs some mechanical or some rigid thingamajiggies that get on here and hold on to it. And it's got safety wires torqued and whatnot. So you got to have your weight. Let's say a 200-pound guy will be distributed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what about 30 pounds per whatchamacallit thingamajig. Anyways, it's been a long day. I can start incorporating some details, the aforementioned, to get that fixed. There's an AC 110 outlet that goes here, which I'm going to get wired up so I can plug my tools into there. There's one parallel to it over there. Other than that, you've got this thing. I put more contemplation into the size of the hole than pretty much anything else in my life. I've made it 4 inches, but that's going to be riveted. It's going to have a flange, a shaped flange on either side, riveted through, and that's where your hot air vent that starts behind the wing spar and takes your hot air through here. One branches off. Well, there's a main one that branches, and then it goes up to here for all the heating up in here, and the other one drops and goes down, and all that gizmo stuff. Jeez. Anyways, I think that's about it. It's been a long day. It's the first real hot day of the season. Looking forward to about 7 more months of this fun stuff. It'd be great to get all this done so I can get the shapers in there and get these really smooth. But I believe that's about it. I'll see y'all next time.